Today is random chore day, so I just recently bought this beautiful sedum. Been eyeing a dark color sedum for quite some time, but kind of waiting for them to go on sale because they're a little bit pricey, especially the ones that I wanted. They're usually about like 20 bucks in my area. This one is Rock and Grow Back in Black. So I'm going to transplant her into this bigger pot here. It's a Proven Winners one. And then, so you see the different sizes here, just to give her some room to grow. She has a really pretty coloring flowering, but most of them are kind of gone now. But look at this, there's just a few fresh ones. So light color with dark pink inside. I think it would look quite lovely next year when she's in full bloom. So what I've found with sedum is they're really easy to propagate. So I'm hoping I'm going to transplant her, let her grow in here. Oh, by the way, I know most people will probably say don't do this, but I find these pots that I buy, they got like ginormous holes, and oftentimes the water runs through too fast and some of the soil come out. So what I do is I put some paper towel. These are really thin ones. They probably will most likely decompose them, and not only that, they let water just seep through anyways. So I found that to be helpful for me. It might be a no-no in the gardening world, but I don't know. Anyhow, so I'm gonna let her grow in here until the end of September, before our first frost hit in the first week of October. I'm gonna cut down her branches and I'm gonna try to propagate her indoors over the winter. I've never tried this before. I've propagate sedum outside in the garden before. Super easy. Literally, you just stick them in the ground and they will root. Indoors is a different story. So I'm going to take the stems, cut them off because she's going to die anyways outside. I'm going to propagate her and see how it goes. All right, let's pot up this baby. Soil here. Oh, you know what I forgot? Oh, one more thing. You know what? I'm gonna give it some cow manure. I don't have any more bone meal left. So I am put some cow manure in here. Give it some extra food. And also, I find these soil are a lot more dense, I guess is the right word, than the mixing soil I have here. So what it will help do is retain the moisture so it doesn't dry out quite as fast. So that will be good. Pots tend to dry out so very fast, and it's really annoying having to constantly water them. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Gently, shimmy it out. So here's the pot. And you know what? Let me show you what it looks like. There you have it. It's in the shape of the flower pot. So you can just put it in there. Very, very easy. I find this way it's very effective in terms of transplanting from one pot to another. So all I do is gently take the pot out. Doesn't really have any roots or anything like that. So I'm just gonna squeeze it a little bit to loosen it. It has enough water in here, so I won't be watering it after. I think it would just be too much water. Okay. Gently slide it into the hole that we made, and voila! Look at that. Isn't that easy? Add a little bit, but not too much. So when we water, the water doesn't come out. When you do it too much soil, the water's gonna come out. Water. There you have it. Change plant. Okay, you know what? I know a lot of you guys said before I didn't tell or mention the names. So from now on, I'm going to do a better job at retaining these tags. So there you have it. Chance planting made easy. Love that trick. I learned it from somebody a while ago, and I've been using it ever since. Ta-da! Another chore, another job or task, another task accomplished today. And today the weather is so nice. What a perfect day to garden. Alrighty, this is my second one that I need to repot. It's a new hydrangea that I recently bought. It's been sitting. It was actually in the front of my house, but look. She got sort of crispy, so I had to hide her back here where it's a little bit more shaded. What I found this year is that when I first buy a plant, a new plant, I think maybe perhaps at the nursery they are a little bit under shelter or whatnot, but when I read the tag, it says full sun. I put it in full sun, it burns. Yeah, does not do well. So moving forward, what I'm going to do is whenever I buy a new plant, I'm actually going to put it under my gazebo or my pergola first, where it gets some sun but not a lot of sun, and slowly introduce it into full sun. So yeah, I got 3-4 hydrangeas that suffered the same thing. This one was really bad. She was in the very front at the garage, where the garage display is. And look, she turned so brown. I had to chop off some of her branching here. You can tell from these branches here that I trimmed her back because the blooms were just really bad. So I had to move her back here. This one was the same thing at first. I had her in the front, rescue her really early on, so she is not badly damaged. There's one sitting out in the front, and the reason she's still in the front is because she's in a ginormous pot and I just can't move her back here. So she's just gonna have to duke it out there. All right, so the task for today is to repot. Once again, same black pot. I love these pots. They're very affordable too, and they're really tall. I don't like wide ones. I like tall ones. So this one, you can tell the difference between the two. Another admission here. I am terrible at noting or gauging size of pots. Nope. If you ask me what size pot you use, don't ask, because I have no idea. No concept of it. I can't even tell you. Just know that it is a bigger pot. So this is little lime punch that I got. I actually was working in Bradford, which is about, I think I would have to say, it's quite a ways from where I live. I was working up there, so wherever I work, I always stop by random nursery gardens that I come across. And sometimes I find some really cool stuff that aren't available in my local area. And I think the reason being is that, say for example, this one is near the cottage area. So they would have more cottagey type of flowers available. So that's what I want. That's why I always stop by random places. Okay, little lime punch. And the reason I got this one is because of her fall color. So you see how it's turns crimson or cranberry almost. None of my hydrangeas that I have in my garden do that right now. I have one here that turns, you know what? I planted this one so many years ago. I wish I know what the name is, but it's the only one I have of its kind in my yard. So she does turn like a really pretty pink color, right? Really lovely. So that's the only one that kind of turned pinkish in my garden. That's why I was looking for one that turned this color. So I got her finally. So let's pot her up because she will be outside overwintering under protection of my gazebo. Same step as I did with the dark sedum there that I just finished. Once again, what was our ginormous. So I find my water runs out a little too fast, too much for my liking. So sometimes I put, what is it called, mulch or bark. I don't have that ready handy, so I'm just gonna do this. It's just paper, very thin paper. Very healthy. So I'm thinking, just cheese it a little bit. Actually, you know what? Sometimes I've done this and it seems to be okay. Doesn't harm them or anything. I'll take a pair of scissors and cut the sides a little bit. Just a little bit. It hasn't killed any berry plants by doing this yet, so I think this way the root will grow upwards and branch out rather than going in a circle again. And sometimes I won't cut, I just push it outwards. I think that should do it. Oh, yeah, perfect. I try to center as much as I can, because some plants hard to center because depending on how they're sitting in or have been grown in the pot originally. So, once again, I'm going to put it in here, hopefully make less of a mess, less cleaning up after. It all soil into the crack there. I find the ones that are really close in size in terms of like the same diameter or circumference here, a little bit tricky to fill in the soil afterwards because there's really not a big gap. Should do it. You know what? Once I water in, it will help push the soil down. So if I see gaps after I water it, then I will add more into it. There you have it. Proven winners. Little lime punch. I think this one goes to -40. US zone 3 to 8. I'm in zone 6A, so I think I should be able to overwinter her nicely in a pot. What I've learned from last year killing 4 or 5 of my roses is that I had them outside in the open. So what I noticed is that when spring came, they were still greenish, they were still okay. And then as the season moved towards April, it started dying. And what I think happened is that too much water was sitting in there. And we had the thawing and freezing temperature because it's still fluctuating. It ended up killing 4 or 5 of my roses. So this year, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover the pot so that I have better control how much moisture goes into the root system. Hopefully, by making that adjustment, my plants will be okay coming back next year. Fingers crossed. I'm always trying out new stuff. I live in a cold climate, so I think overwintering is very tricky. And going into in pots, especially in the garden, is fine. Just pots, it's really tricky for me to overwinter them. Okay, here you have it. She's all potted up. You should be very, very happy. Okie dokie, all done. Second plant potted up today. Wow, I'm feeling all very accomplished already. There's the first one, here's the second one. I love these pots, did I say? And I think they're only like $7, under $8 for sure. Really nice, and they seem very durable. This is my first year using them, so I will let you guys know whether I run into any issues with overwintering them or them surviving the winter, any cracks or anything like that. I'll let you know. There you have it, another one. I think I have one or two more other ones that I still have to do today. So like I said, today is repotting day. Okay, so I am in the process of prepping the pots for the sedum that I will be digging out in the garden, putting them in here, letting them grow over the winter. The other thing I wanted to show you guys. So, by the funny arm gear, I am allergic to something in my garden and I don't know what it is. So in the past, every year when I garden, I would get rashes all along here and they itch like crazy and it takes like weeks to recover. So I got smart. I bought these sleeve things. So if I'm wearing a t-shirt or long short sleeve, I will wear this to protect my arm so that I don't have to suffer from itchiness for weeks on end. Let's just put some soil at the bottom here. Some good stuff for nutrients. If this was earlier in the season, what I would also put, if it's a flowering plant that I'm potting up, I will put bone meal and also a slow release fertilizer. But because I'm doing it in September, I don't think I should be putting any of those in because they are going, or should be going into dormancy soon. So next year, I'll just add some into the soil at the beginning of the season in spring. Okay, that should be good for now. All right, let's go dig up the plants. That's ready. I don't want any of it to drop on here because I will get weeds growing there. I will probably get weeds growing there anyways. Just remove here. Okay, these are really easy to dig up. I find their root system is pretty shallow. I have it tied, so I should remove the tie first. I wonder, you know what I have not ever tried? Dividing it right here, rather than taking it out and then dividing it. I've seen someone do it. I'm gonna try it myself. Is that easier? You know what? No. Because they are quite intertwined. You know what? I'm going to dig it up and then take a knife or a saw to divide. Yes! I think that might be the best approach. Yeah. You know what? Wait a sec. Okay. So I'm going to go here. There's a dirty mud. Gravel. Shoot. That means I shouldn't have taken this off. Darn it. Okay. The smarty pants that I am. I took it off and then I have to retie it. Oh, okay. This plant, the sedum, tends to get a little bit fluffy sometimes. There's one thing about it that I don't love, but the fluffiness is not too bad. Oftentimes you just take a tie and you tie it and it's fine. This is why I think I get rashes. Because I'm not wearing the sleeve, my skin will be touching all sorts of stuff. And then I pay the price later on. Okay. Love it. This makes it so much easier to dig up when you tie them up like this. They're one big clump. All right. Let's go. Okay, so this is what the site looks like now that I've removed the sedum. Much better. Honestly, all dressed up, she's gonna be very happy. Why? She has a lot of room right here. So that is where the sedum was. It was a really big bush. So it's blocking airflow going here. So this is the new one that I planted up yesterday. Hardy Party, I think, right? So now, if I just plant this orange dahlias next year into this spot, I think it's gonna look gorgeous with all the pink around it. And now look at this space. Isn't it lovely? It has a pop of color now. I don't, like I said, don't even know what I was thinking, putting all yellow or muted color into this one plot. Now I got color. Next year, this orange is gonna be right there. My roses are gonna be happy. The garden is gonna look a lot more rounded, more grounded, and more full. All right, so let's go divide up my sedum here. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's one big clump, and what I find with sedum is too, it's super easy. Sometimes you don't even have to cut anything. They would just come apart. See, I already see 1 clump, 2, and 3 already. So I might even end up with 3 plants instead of the 2 that I originally was planning to divide them up to. Hey, if it's 3, it's 3. I always will be able to find a spot for it. All right, so let's go get my pot. I left it over here, of course. There they are. Okay, let's go. All right, so here we have it. Let's pot these babies up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we are going to divide so easily. Look, they are already falling apart. I just have to untie it. Where's my string? It's my knot. It's on this side. Over this side. Okay. Untie that. Oh, perfect. You didn't have to cut anything. Okay, so gently. So I don't break anything. Okay, there you go. So this clump will go in here. It's okay if the leaves are falling. It's no problem. You know what? There's 3 clumps. This one's a smaller one. I'm going to also add this clump to it. Make it a little bit more fuller. There we go. Okie dokie. The trick is to backfill it. This one's gonna go back with it. Backfill it with 1 arm. Okay. Once I get a bit of soil in there. Big mess. It's okay. Always clean later. just I'm gonna tie it beforehand. It's a lot easier when it's flat like this. Okay. Have it. I think someone commented or asked in one of my videos, what do I use to fertilize? I think one of the reasons why I have been fairly successful in terms of planting things in pots is that when I'm potting them up, I'm providing them with a lot of nutrients to start with. So, for example, cow manure, sheep manure, whatever the case may be, I always put that in the potting mix when I am potting them up. And of course, if it's at the beginning of the season, like I mentioned before, I will put bone meal and then also slow release fertilizer. That usually takes care of the feeding for the whole season. I usually don't have to top it up afterwards. If it's a plant that flowers all season long, I will come in and provide liquid soluble fertilizer during the growing season, especially like in late June, July, every other week. I would, when I remember. I'm terrible at it. Sometimes I don't want to remember, but if I do, I try to do every other week. And that usually takes care of the flowering plants. Yeah, other than that, I don't really do anything else special to them. That's it. Done. Okay. These guys don't need that much water, at least from my experience. They tolerate heat really well. You almost never find them wilting, looking sad during heat wave, nothing, nada. No pests ever bother them either. Like such a wonderful plant to have. Super pest resistant. Weather, can grow in any condition, shade, sunny, hot, cold, you name it. I love it. Okay, there you go. This one's not looking as nice as this one because it came apart a little bit. Okay, so here you have it. They are potted up, like I mentioned. This one on the left is not as neat and tidy as that one because that one came apart and I had to like mesh a few clumps together. This one came off nicely in one big clump, so she is looking lovely. I don't think I've ever had any one of them die on me over the winter before. Like I said, even if you want to kill these guys, you cannot. Wish all of my plants were like that, right? There you have it. Thank you for joining me in doing my tasks, my chores that I've been putting off for quite some time now. Some of the potting I've been sitting, or some of the plants been sitting out, and I've been eyeing it, just did not have time. And the weather was just too hot to do anything outside. I hope that helps. This is how I pot up my plants, and why I think my plants do pretty well in pots is what you put in the potting mix or pots at the beginning when you first pot them up. Give them enough food, they'll be happy. Oh yeah, quickly show you. So this one, this sedum right here, and also this one right here, that's exactly what I did in June or July, I can't remember. I took them out, I believe it was right here, because they were crowding that space. My rows that I just put in this year were not too happy. I think there's not enough airflow, so I took them out, and I have them in pots, and they've been growing really nicely. So this is what's going to happen to these guys. So I have a lot. And actually, you know what? I even took out 2 of these over here that I'm saving for my sister's garden. Lots to go around. And that's how I got started growing these guys, is one of my neighbor gifted me a pot, a little bit smaller than this, just one pot, Didn't have any prior to that. And they add such a nice texture and fall color to your arrangements or your garden space. The two new sedum gonna hang out here with the fuchsia and the other two sedum. See, now they make such a nice display arrangement. Very simple, very pretty. I love it. This fuchsia, I don't know. This is probably crazy, and my husband's gonna yell at me because my house is gonna look like a jungle this winter. I'm planning to overwinter this inside. I wasn't planning to take her inside because all season long, she was not a happy trooper. She was not doing well. I trimmed her back, and you know what? She's bouncing back really nicely. So she might come inside with us over the winter too. This one I'm definitely saving. She's in a huge terracotta pot there. She's been doing really well. So she's coming in. And there's another one in the front of my house that is, I believe, the white one. Yes, it's the same one, I think, coloring as this one. It's doing quite well too. So I have 4 of these ginormous planter that I am planning to take inside. My problem with taking plants inside the house to overwinter has always been pests, bugs. What am I bringing inside my house? So I think 5-6 years ago, I don't know if it's from plants that I brought from outside into my house, or it's from plants that hold on one sec. Yes, I was saying, I don't know if it's from plants that I brought from outside into my house, or perhaps it's from a plant that I had purchased from a nursery, a house plant that I brought from a nursery and brought into my house. But my house, I had an infestation, a really big one to be honest with you, of fungus gnat. And it went on and on for years. I did everything I possibly could to get rid of them. All the sticky tapes were all over my house. My husband and kids were about to throw all my plants outside because they just had enough of these bugs flying into their faces. My husband's like on his computer screen, his home office. It's just a graveyard of bugs, of these fungus gnat all over it. So this year, I am planning to bring stuff inside. What I will try to do is spray it down real good with water. Just blast the plant with it. I don't care if the flowers fall off because I don't need flowers inside the house anyways. They're probably going to drop off anyways. And then on top of that, what I'm going to do is do my mix of neem oil, and I'm going to spray them down, all of them down with neem oil. Just a second layer of protection, just in case if there's any pests, any bugs that's lingering on the leaves, on the underside of the leaves. Hopefully that will take care of that, because I think after 5-6 years, I finally got rid of it. Like, I don't see any fungus gnat inside my house anymore. So I'm really hoping that will work, because it will suck up big time. It will be terrible if that happens to me again, because it took me so long to get rid of them. If you guys have any tricks or any advice on how to overwinter plants safely without bringing in bugs inside the house, please do share with me. I would love to hear all of your suggestions. Well, you know what? I think that's it for me in terms of tasks or chores that I have to do. Guess what? I found something of that coloring and I popped it in there. Wait until you see the space. So remember how I said that spot? I'm going to put something orangey like this one into that spot to kind of add pop of color. And look at this. Voila! Same coloring. I had one, I have this begonia I have 2 of them in pots. So I just stuck it in there just to give me an idea of what it would look like with that color. And look at the coloring. Oh my gosh. I am so very happy. Wow. Okay. I have to admit something. I am terrible with colors, like absolutely terrible. Hence why I made all the mistake with this patch at the beginning. Yeah, no, not good with colors. So I have to visually see it, pop stuff in, see if I like it. I don't have the talent like most other gardener where they're, oh yeah, you know what? These two colors go well together, or this go well. What? No. I pop them in, see how it looks. Oftentimes I'm like, yeah, that's not working. I can't visualize it in my head. Not sure why. Yep. So this is helping me so much. Okay. I am absolutely loving this color combination. You see how the pink, the orange, and light pink, white just kind of mesh well together. I know for some people that's a little bit too much coloring, but for my taste, I just love it. Definitely an orangey color here, for sure, or a peachy orange. I don't know if this begonia is going to do well here. I might just leave her here for the rest of the season. She tends not to like sun too much. I think at the beginning of the season, I don't know if she's adapted well or not, but you know what? We're in September, so I don't foresee us getting crazy hot weather or a lot of sun. So you know what? She's going to hang out here for the rest of the season. Oh my gosh, I love it. When you get something right, it just feels so nice. There you have it. Look at this space now. All the colors are playing so very nice together, and Amy is very happy. And once again, thank you so much for joining me today while I completed some of my garden tasks, things that I've been putting off for quite some time. And thank you so much for coming along while I rearrange and design this patch right here. It feels very satisfying to get all this done. You know, sometimes when you have something on your mind for a while and it's just sitting there, once it's completed, you feel like, it feels so nice. If you have enjoyed my video, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye now. So if anyone is interested in growing this dahlias from seed, this is the seed packet that I got. $2 and something, and you get like tons, and I have not even used the whole pack yet. And look how lovely they are. They come in a variety of different shapes, different coloring of orange, a mix of yellowy orange color. Highly recommend.